Greetings and welcome. How are we all feeling today? We all know it's important to listen because that's how we receive information. It's how we make meaning, how we understand. But a lot of the times we don't actually listen. We're hearing everything that's going on around us, but we're not actually engaged in what is being said and what is being communicated in the moment. And it's important to tune up your listening skills because listening is the best way to show someone you care. Listening is a good way to learn, to create and deepen understanding, so we can create meaning and have value in our lives. It's important for us to have listening skills and to develop our listening skills because you know how it feels when you tell someone something and they're not really listening to you. You can see they're distracted or they're busy with something else, and you kind of just feel like, oh, but you're not really listening to me. You don't value me. You don't appreciate me. You don't take into consideration what I have to say or value my opinions. And shutting someone down when they're opening up to you is a really bad way to engage in listening, because when you shut someone down, they disconnect from you. They don't want to be connected to you or associated to you because they feel that you do not value them. And a lot of the time, we don't always just listen. We want to give advice and we want to help, and that's all good and fine because it comes from a good place. It comes from good intentions. But to listen to someone is to give them the world, to give them space to express themselves and to unload and get off what is on their chest and what they are struggling with and what's going on in their minds and on in their lives. Listening is a good way to improve your relationships because it is the only way that we can understand each other, and that is through listening. How do you get to know someone? You have a dialogue, you have a conversation. I did this so many years ago, and I did that so many years ago. And that's how you learn about how a person has shaped themselves, how a person has created this form and this version of themselves. And that's why it's so important to listen, because we allow ourselves to be put in their position, in their minds, in their feelings. And it's a really great way for you to learn patience as well, because listening is patience. Because you need to sit there and you need to have all your focus on this one person and what they are saying, to be fully attentive and to completely immerse yourself in that other person for that moment. Listening is a momentarily process, it's a moment. It happens in the moment. And if you do not listen to someone when they tell you something and they ask you about it later, and you have to admit that you didn't listen to what they said, that's hurtful, and it can make you feel quite bad as well. It can make you feel like, oh, maybe I should have listened, maybe I should have taken them into consideration. And a lot of the times we hear what's going on around us. We hear what's going on outside. We hear what's going on in our family. We hear everything that's going on. But how much of that do we actually process? How much of that do we actually listen to? It's all down to selection, what you believe is priority and what you don't believe is priority. What you believe is priority, you'll more likely listen, be immersed in, especially if you're under a lot of stress and you're waiting for something. And a lot of the times we listen to respond. We listen because we want to say something, because we want to add something, because we want to tell our stories, because we want to give our experiences, we want to express ourselves. But that breaks communication, because you mustn't listen just to respond. You listen to understand the other person's map of the world. You listen to understand the other person's model of the world, how they feel, how they think, how they perceive things. It's important to listen to understand and not just to respond, because a lot of the times we just want someone to listen, and responding the whole time with your experiences and what you have to say kind of shows the other person that you're not really listening to them. Yes, you may be very passionate about the conversation, but respond to what they said first. Acknowledge what people say to you. Acknowledge the other person's point of view. Acknowledge the other person's opinion and perspectives. And the only way that we learn is through listening. When we listen to lectures, when we listen to our partners discussing something with us, when we listen to friends, we learn. We learn about the world, we learn about our realities, and we also learn who we are as people, because we surround ourselves with the people that we learn from, and we learn from listening. It is the only way you can truly understand something and learn something, is by listening to the whole thing first and then putting it into practice, by taking note of the information that you are receiving. And listening is the only way we can understand someone else's map of the world. Your map of the world is how you view your reality, how you internalize your world, how you relate to yourself, and how you relate to your environment. And we all have our own different map of the world. No one's is the same. It's your unique reality, and we can't jump in someone else's mind. We can't telepathically understand why they're not okay, or what's going on in their minds, or what's going on in their hearts. The only way you can truly know who a person is, how they feel, and what they're thinking is by listening to them. Because we're not mind readers. We can't predict what someone else is going to feel. We can't predict what someone else is going to think. So we need to listen to learn and listen to appreciate. And good listening skills fosters healthy relationships, because you are able to be open and honest, and you both feel respected and appreciated, and you both feel like your voices matter, and you can express yourself freely with the other person. So good listening skills builds bonds and it deepens connections. It helps you to establish new connections as well, because people love it when you listen to them. People love telling you their stories, their experiences, what they've learned from life, and let them express themselves. Because the more you practice your listening skills, the more you'll learn about yourself, other people, life, and how you internalize your reality. Listening is how we deepen those connections, how we really strengthen our bonds, and it allows us to truly say what is on our minds, what is in our hearts, and what we are experiencing. Listening is expressing yourself and having someone to sit there and just take notes of you and fully immerse themselves in your story. And this is how we create our bonds, how we strengthen our bonds, because we show the respect to listen to others. Remember, your listening skills need to be tuned up all the time so that you are able to communicate effectively. So remember, you are unique and valuable. Take care of that beautiful person. Stay strong wherever you're from. You are worthy.